My name is Sophie van der Zee and I'm an assistant professor at the Erasmus University in Rotterdam, and I work there as an assistant professor in behavioral economics. I think it's most important in life that you do what you're interested in, and that when you do it big. During my undergrad degree, I started following courses in other disciplines, and I love doing that, and that's how I found out what I really like to do, which turned out to not be actually what I did my undergrad degree in. But it was sort of a combination of psychology and law. Apparently you can combine psychology and law and then it suddenly becomes really cool. And since I discovered that, I became a great student because I was so enthusiastic that I read everything and even more than what I could find. I think since then I got an honors degree, cum laude, and I did a PhD. So I think when I found what I really enjoyed, I became a great student. So both my parents are academics, which means that they kind of inspired me to become an academic as well. I understand that that's a bit boring, maybe as an answer. But my mom always said that she had the best job in the world. And I was quite excited about that. And I thought I want the best job in the world. And to be honest, I think I have. So I only recently joined the field of economics myself. I started as an assistant professor in behavioral economics in January 2018. And so far I'm really excited about the field, and I'm actually really impressed by the students that I've been supervising so far. So I think if you're asking me what advice do I have for students here, I genuinely think follow your heart and follow what you're interested in, and that may not actually fit within sort of the borders of what you learn within one course or within one discipline. Maybe you need to branch out to find what you're really interested in. Please do so. So my research is divided into two disciplines. On the one hand, I'm really interested in deception and dishonesty. So why do we commit insurance fraud, for example, or how can we detect if someone is lying? And usually that takes place in a face-to-face setting. But if you start applying it into a digital world, you come into the area of cybersecurity and cybercrime. And there I study, for example, how cyber criminals try to convince their potential victims to transfer money. So in the article When Lying Feels the Right Thing to Do, I did 3 online studies where I looked into sort of reasons why people behave dishonestly. And what we found is that when people feel rejected, and especially when that's unfairly rejected, they become more dishonest. And we saw that in sort of cheating in a task, a language task, but also when we replicated an insurance claim setting, we found the same effects. So my advice to insurance companies is actually try to be as transparent as possible, because if people think they can get some money back and they file a claim and then they get rejected, it actually increases the chances that they'll commit insurance fraud next time. I think of all the courses that behavioral economics students are going to take, I think the behavioral economics seminar is literally the best one they're going to do. They get some general information about behavioral economics, how nudging works, for example, and then we're going to divide the students into small groups and they're going to tackle real-world problems. So for example, the group that I'm going to supervise is going to look at why in the south of the Netherlands, in Brabant, why inhabitants there, people that live there, don't actually inform the police when they see any drug-related criminal activities happening around them. So we actually go there and we're going to talk to people there and trying to figure out how can we encourage people to actually inform the police when they see something bad happening. I think that's really cool. Working with students is awesome, especially if they're interested in what you do. So I think it's my biggest challenge to whatever I'm teaching, even if that's statistics, which is usually a course students are not that interested in, to teach them in a way that they realize why it's interesting and to try to get them be excited about it. And what I really like about the input of students themselves is that they sometimes ask me questions that I really didn't come up with. Because if you usually present your work to academics who are all in similar fields, all thinking the same things, reading the same papers, actually it can become a bit sort of in crowd, preaching to the choir. But when you then try to translate your work and your research to students to teach them about things, the questions you get are often really refreshing and sometimes gave me ideas for new research.